Wow.
Uh,
How are you, Rev? How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, all
Not
right.
sure
We're
how
live. We're
comfortable I am
live,
with the
guys. We're
process.
live. We're live, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to another episode of Spur Live Leadership Conversations. My name is Wendell Lawrence, and I'm the CEO of SpurROpen.com. And SpurROpen.com is a platform that facilitates online payments, events management, and donation services, e-stores. Once it has to do with payments online, we have that. So every week we're here on a Wednesday at 8. We share some amazing stories from pastors and leaders of entities, and this week is no different. This week we're gonna do another amazing episode. We're gonna have with us Reverend Stevenson Samuels, Bishop, the Bishop Doctor, the Reverend Doctor. So we're gonna have a conversation with him about how he has been functioning as a leader during this COVID time and with all the challenges. I know he's going through some transition himself, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. And we're just gonna have a nice like a conversation. Rev, you're there. You're muted. You're muted. Unmute. Unmute, Rev. Unmute.
Yeah, man, it's
Yes.
true. Look like I don't know how to use this technology. I'm here, bro. I'm here.
How are you doing? You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm not bad at all. I'm good. Yeah, praise God. God is
That's
good.
good. How about your wife? Your wife is good.
Yeah, big support. And, we're just kind of bonding and strengthening our relationship as we're in transition.
Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. All right. So we're gonna have a little chat. It's as I shared with you earlier in our earlier conversations, it's very informal. We're not really structured. I mean, we're just trying to cover some ground. Essentially, we're trying to understand and canvas the views and the stories from leaders of congregations, leaders of churches, um, around Jamaica. So this program is not focused on any particular denomination. It's just a general focus on leaders and how they are adjusting. So I want to first start off by
But,
asking
but
you, how
by the
was your day?
way,
Just describe.
but, but
Yes.
by the way, one of the things that I would like to do is to interview you one day to just find out, how you come up with these things, why, what is your passion to make this thing happen, facilitating churches and so on. I am amazed by your giftings and callings and passion. Excellent. Anyway, what
Wow.
question you were asking me? I want to be the interviewer, okay? For real.
You just had to just drop that in, right?
Yeah, for real. I am impressed, man.
Wow. Well, we can make this be a conversation. I'm going to start off by asking you, how was your day
Mhm.
today?
Yeah.
Just to kind of get an idea, just to kind of share with our listenership and persons viewing what it's like being a leader. So just describe for me, like today, how was today for you? What
Yeah.
happened from you woke up until this point?
Right. Right. So today was not a normal day because I'm in transition. So
Mm-hmm.
you almost have to call it on leave, but sometimes pastors are not really on leave. So my wife and I, we kind of decided to be on leave at the same time because we're at a critical milestone in our life, and
Mm-hmm.
transition period for us in our lives. So we decided, all right, let's kind of back off a little and kind of strengthen ourselves. So like this morning, as we got up, I would have gone walking with her. Yippee! How does that sound? Does that
Whoa.
sound physically strong, or does it sound
Yes, sir.
romantic? Which one? And then we do the breakfast thing.
It's a little bit of both. Yeah.
We do the breakfast thing, and after the breakfast thing, then we would have done uh, lots of uh, administrative work. So I kind of got on to doing some reports as I, get myself ready to move. And then I did something on radio, prayer for the nation pre-election. So I was able to engage in that because I do a lot of non-church kind of things for religion and stuff in Jamaica. So and then I had to get myself prepared in a very serious way for this major global program that I'm on. So that also has engaged me.
My little daughter. Yes. Yeah.
I know about
Okay,
those
that's
things.
interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. No, you mentioned that you're in transition.
Yes,
Can you share with us a little bit about that, as much details as you are able to, just so that we can
right.
understand what's happening?
Yeah. So right now, as I say, I'm in transition. I'm on my way from one church, from one pastorate, going to another, and I'm sure you understand that very well when the so I served the Escarpment Road district of churches, as they call it, which is a group of churches located in above Half a Tree, above Ligani, kind of. So we have about 5 churches in that group that I supervise, and I pastor one directly, which is the Escarpment Road Church. All right, that is just across from the University of the West Indies in a community called Hermitage. So I spent 12 years and 8 months, so that's almost 13 years in
Wow.
that yes.
Wow.
And I mean, tremendous things happened. I mean, like really tremendous things in that pastorate. So I'm out of that now, and I am in my second day as pastor of the Waltham Park Church. Yes,
That,
that's the Waltham Park
that's
New
60,
Testament Church of God. Right,
65. Okay.
65. Right, right. So
Okay. Interesting. Nice.
I've taken up my pastorate there now. I haven't been there for a Sunday as yet, but yeah, it's there
On
now.
the
Waltham
books.
Park is it? Yes, Waltham Park is it?
Okay. Cool. All right. So now you would have been at Escarpment Road during the time when the government initially announced that COVID has arrived.
Yes,
You know,
yes, yes.
and what I want for you to do now, and the background of this question is, we are in a culture where church is a physical show up activity. You show up for church. You show up ready, from the dress, the mindset, the preparation. You show up for church physically, and there is a lot of physical activities that are happening with church. So now we hear from the government perspective, no public gathering beyond 20 persons. So that automatically has an impact on church. You are the leader of your church, and you also serve as leader for, as you mentioned, a district of churches. So
Right,
so so the persons who you have quote unquote direct oversight over are looking to you for direction, and the
right.
other churches are looking to you for example,
Yes.
right? So my question to you is, when the government announced 20 persons for any public gathering, for any kind of gathering, before you even met and gave an instruction or had consultation with your team, what went on in your head?
Yeah, good question. So, new regulations came, new rules, governmental procedures, and whoa, I said, wow, what's this going to be? You know, how are we going to move forward? Well, one of the things that happened, I am on the National Executive Council of the
Mm-hmm.
denomination, and that's a good thing because to be a part of a denomination, we're about 378 congregations strong across the length
Mm-hmm.
and breadth of Jamaica. And
Mm-hmm.
also, we are tied into international network that
Mm-hmm.
operates in approximately 200 countries around the world. And so that's quite a sum of churches. It's a global operation. It's maybe the second Pentecostal church movement in the world. So and definitely the largest one in Jamaica. Uh, so with that kind of network, you are in touch and you know how to collaborate, how to gather together whenever there's a challenge, and how to have the collective wisdom exploring all the options. So that council met and we discussed the way to go. We established some protocols based on the government protocols and regulations. And so we disseminated that. Then immediately, I got in touch with my own ministers on my district and I communicated to them what the protocols were based on the conversations we had at the executive level. And we encouraged each other, to kind of just be as dynamic and creative as possible. Then it was time for my local congregation that I have direct responsibilities for. And we
Mm-hmm.
immediately called a meeting of the council and we talked through the way to go, how we're going to do it. We didn't have the technology within the council, but you don't have to. You just need to be leaders that are in touch with the ground. So we
When you say you didn't have the technology in the council, what you mean? You mean the technological expertise?
right, the expertise, yeah, the
Okay,
expertise,
okay,
that's
okay,
correct.
okay.
I'm sorry
Mm-hmm.
about that.
Yeah.
So we immediately got in touch with all our technocrats on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a conversation with them. And within the week, we developed a way that we would now have church. I have a funny feeling that we couldn't meet we couldn't gather in the sanctuary on that Sunday. Um, so whatever was the case, we realized, well, we may have had to establish a congregation at my home, not a congregation, a streaming, method at my home.
Steamy
So
headquarters.
yeah, so we made contact with all the technical people. We worked out how we were going to do it with the technology that we had in existence at the time. And so my daughter
What what
had
what technology
a
was that?
camera.
A cell phone?
Well, yeah, no, a camera. We use a camera, and then we established some kind of connection with YouTube. In fact, on that day, it was Facebook, if I'm not mistaken, and we did a Facebook Live thing on the day with
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
camera and yeah, and some contraptions with a computer and all of that kind of stuff. So there were some persons
Yeah,
who
yeah,
already had some equipment. We looked at what we
yeah. Mm-hmm.
had, not what we needed to get, but what we had. And we created a
Right.
way of transmitting on that on the Sunday to come. And so we created a program. We got the message out because we already had a network in our church. So we contacted all our members through our WhatsApp contact, and we
Mm-hmm.
sent out the information through all the groups that we have. Maybe about half dozen to 10 groups. From the main group to the council to the dancers to
Okay.
the choir to the band.
Okay. Okay.
Everybody have a group, man. So we sent out the
Yeah, 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 yeah,
information.
yeah.
We are still on. Connect with us, and then we just gathered 2 to 3 singers and one keyboard player and myself, and we did service and just transmitted that to the entire community. And then after that, now we decided, hey, we're going to go more high powered. And so we decided, all right, we're moving back into the sanctuary. It's going to be empty. And we're going to now choose go through YouTube. And So we established a YouTube channel, and we've been using that method and that technology from that time. So whether
Okay.
we have an audience or we don't have an audience, it doesn't matter to us. We are able to transmit. And what we did now was to go aggressively into the market, and now decided we were going to use this opportunity to establish
Be-
ministry in a very big way. Yes.
Before
You
before
want to
before you
say
got
something?
into that part, you said something
Yeah.
that I want to drill a bit deeper into. Where that you said you looked at what you had and how you could
Hmm.
use it, and not what you needed.
Right.
Um, Expound on that for me a little bit from the perspective as a leader, and why is that important? Why is that kind of a approach important?
Right. For two reasons, I would say, Wendell. One is that when circumstances change on you, you can't now go dreaming of what you need to get because you don't have the time. All right. So you have to look at what you have now and what you can do now within the context now, And some of my guys did some amazing things, some of them, the most they could do for that Sunday and even beyond, because I'm also responsible for a parish, right? I kind of oversee a parish. So I supervise a district, I oversee a parish, and I pastor a church. And so
Mm,
what some of them did
mhm,
was to take the message on their phone, all right, send it out through WhatsApp, and then those members that were a little more agile, like the younger people, they would download it. Well, they would have it on the WhatsApp,
mhm.
and then they would take it around to some of the older folks that don't have service, don't have, the technology and so on, and just play it for them. Go to Mother Green Yard, tap on the WhatsApp, Pastor preach,
Wow.
and just listen Pastor preach, and them just take it from one yard to the other to the other. Yeah, and that's how them do Sunday service. Yeah, just a phone,
You
WhatsApp,
have some
and some
runners. You
people
have some
catch it on the
runners.
WhatsApp. Yeah, runners, yeah. And the runners just go from yard to yard and just play it for the different member them. And so, yeah. So you really have to look
I
at
love
what you
that. I
have.
love.
But the other reason is not because of dynamism alone, because you have to be flexible, but you also have to be frugal. You have to operate within your budget. So why are you looking on what TD Jakes is doing when you really don't have that budget? The budget you have is what you have in the bank, man, and you didn't plan for this. So you have to be really now cautious as to how you engage. We're going for the big thing, but not yet. The big thing is later. What is going to happen now is what you have right at this point. What can you do with what you have in your hand?
That that can be intimidating for some leaders,
Yeah,
especially persons who may not necessarily be as experienced, and who have the expectation of the persons that they're leading, like, yeah, because the persons that you're leading are looking at TDJs, and they want a sense of pride in how they are represented, and they will come on with that kind of pressure, like, no, so how comes our thing don't have a banner scrolling across the bottom? How comes our thing don't have animated graphics? But you're saying that you're you stay within your means. Your budget is what you have in the
right.
bank. You
Yes,
never
yes.
planned for it.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So
Wow.
in my instance, my daughter get a camera from her auntie, right? And when found ourselves in the spot, we said, "Hey, we could use a camera." It's not that we went to get anybody else's camera. We use what was in my home. A camera was in my home, and we're using that. You, you know, um, and we said, "All right, McQueen, what we're going to do with music now?" And if there was nobody else, then it would be me and her. Cause me have a guitar in my yard, and she can sing, and that's how we would do it. But we realized now, well, we could get the keyboard player here. All right. If he wasn't here, we would use a different, it would be me and her alone. But he was available.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just bring in the keyboard and thing, and we use that. That's how we did it. And it worked.
Mm-hmm.
It worked. Use what you have.
Yes. 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 No, that's very powerful. All
Indeed.
right. So let me jump to now. So now you mentioned that you started to go aggressive. What was the word you used? In
Yes.
terms of how like you kind of almost like you get your footing. So the thing hits you, you balance up
Right.
first. Use you have to balance up,
Oh,
and
you
then you
know
realize
so.
say you get your footing, and then now you say, all right. So this will go on. Make we see how we go grow from here. So from the new balance that we have.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
what were some of the ideas that started floating around now? What were some of the things that you were doing in terms of shifting and pivoting um, for this new quote unquote dispensation, so to speak?
Right. All right. So what we did after that now, let me just sort out one little technological matter
Yeah, man,
here.
no problem. While you do that, I just want to thank Alison Dexter for joining. Sherry, Sharina Scott. Sharina Scott is giving you greetings, Pastor.
The
Um,
most one.
saying greetings, Rev Samuel. Yes, man. Guys, share this right now. Share this right now with your peeps.
Absolutely.
Share this, let them come on. Let's hear the bishop. Let's hear the Reverend Bishop Doctor talk to us about leadership. Talk to us about leadership. Guys, if you're enjoying the conversation so far, just give a shout out in the chat.
Yes,
Yes,
man.
Rev.
Indeed.
So
I'd
tell me
like to
about
hear from many
some of the things that
people.
you went on with. Yes.
All right. So after we did all of that, now we realized this is now with a lot of meetings. So every time, every week, we're meeting. What's the new plan? What's the new strategy? Where can we go next? So as we're meeting every week, and
Who
that's
is
the
in these meetings?
understanding.
Who is in these
So
meetings? Councilmen or
right.
technocrats?
So we have two main groups. We have the council, because the council has to make these budget decisions and these strategic decisions. So we have the council. And then we have the technology people, the technical operational people on the ground. And we
Mm-hmm.
created a group of people around that, technical director, producer, everybody, man,
You created
program
that group during the
coordinator.
time?
Mm-hmm. That never
Wow.
existed before. Yeah, so that was a new group now. And
Wow.
so, they were kind of like operations persons and the technical persons and so on, production type persons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Mm-hmm.
we did now is, and we said that, we're not talking people who went to university to study these things. Them just have the skill, a man who knows
Mm-hmm.
to work the
Yes.
phone, and that we are talk,
Yes.
or somebody who knows to
Yeah.
coordinate people and so on. Yeah. So those are the
Mm-hmm.
persons we pulled together in a practical group. And so we would have
Mm-hmm.
weekly meetings just talking
Mm-hmm.
about where we are, what we did wrong, how can we correct this, how do we go forward, what are the resources we need to go forward. So we are constantly, every week after church, hey, let's have a meeting. We huddle together. How did it go? What do we need to do? And so on and so forth. Yeah. And so we are strategizing weekly because the goalposts change every week. Every week government come out with something new. So
Mm-hmm.
and rightly so. They're managing a
Yeah,
country. So
because
you
they're doing the same thing.
also absolutely. So we now have to create our own way forward. So that's exactly what we did. So we when we did that now, we came up ultimately we were improving every week, so we are doing it differently. We move back into the church. People can now come in. We put in protocols as to how to come in. We are sending information out into the market. So now we saw this now as an opportunity for growth. And so
Mm-hmm.
what we
Mm-hmm.
decided was that the strategy on the way forward is that we were going to create a new church. We had already created one church already, started one physical church. The church was doing extremely well. And now we decided we're going to start another church. And that church was going to be a virtual church. And so that's the path that we're on. We're into the establishment of, like when your father start a church,
Yeah.
and him start a church. Yeah.
You
When we
plant a
start a
church.
church. Yeah, we plant, we plant a church. And so we did lots of things. We got in touch with people. We ramped up the promotion because we're not just doing online church now. We're starting a church, so we have to make sure, say, we know what are the requirements of an online church. It must look pretty. It must look this. It must. So even if we're doing a simple stream, we make sure that the stream is of a relatively high quality. Quality was now critical, and and promotions was now critical. So we are doing all kinds of things. We're into the market, telling people at home and abroad that we are on. We work out how we're going to engage people when we are on. How we're going to make it
Hold on.
interactive, because
I
one of the
still can't
strategies
move
that we
past.
have. You're saying one of the strategies that we
No,
have
sorry
is,
to interrupt. I still can't move past. Continue. You're saying.
yeah, one of the strategies is interactivity. So we are busy in the chat room,
Mhm.
busy, and we work out ways of how we'll do collections. We
Mhm.
establish new arrangements with our bankers, so that we could ensure that we're doing this thing as strategic as we possibly can. That kind of a thing. We would engage people in the chat room. We acknowledge people. So we have online greeters, for instance. And these people are like, because we have greeters at the gate at church every Sunday. There's no gate here now. So you have to have a virtual thing. So we moved our team to virtual. And so we have online greeters and so we indicate people, if you're here for the first time, just say first time. And then people say first time. As them say first time, people just calling me, welcome, John. Good to have you, John. About 10 people agree, John.
No, so all right, so hold on. So what what you have done, like the image I'm seeing in my mind is that, because what a lot of persons have done, pastor, is that they try to find a way to tailor what they have been doing to fit the online space. So they look at
Right.
so what they've done is that they take a second look at what they have been doing,
Yeah.
and they say, all right, how can we shape what we're doing to fit the online space? What you are
Right.
saying is that you
Yes.
quickly move to the point where you say, no, love what we're doing. Let us recreate something completely for the online space. That's what
Right.
it sounds like your mindset was, where you
Yeah.
you you actually
Absolutely.
saying,
Absolutely.
let's not try to build on the existing foundation. Let's leave that foundation alone, improve it the best way we can, but simply build a new foundation for what we plan to do online and manage the two things.
Right. Right. So even now, we now have gone back. We usually have two services. We're gone back to two services, and one of our services would be conducted without streaming, and we make that service a service like how we normally run church. And then we have a second
Oh,
service now that we're running that is stream friendly. How the people who are engaged in it, the how
wow.
the format of the program, that kind of a thing. Yeah, and we try all kinds of things. So you see, our virtual choir, we've done that. The virtual choir thing where you're at your house and you do your recording, somebody else do it, and somebody else. in foreign, everywhere, people all over, because we have people all, around. And they do their parts, and then we have one of our guys just merge the music and the voices all together, and we do a virtual choir. So we're doing all kinds of things to make it work, from virtual music to we went into festival, and we have all of that festival footage. We ended up in the finals for 2 years straight. So sometimes we replaced our choir with the festival song, because that is
Right,
high
right, right.
level production that JCDC do.
Yes,
So that would have been our special item for the day, and it's our music, it's our work. So we've used
yes,
that
yes,
as
yes.
the song, the church song. Is that song about Jamaica, but we use
But
it
let me.
for our
But
choir for the day.
why did you consider that to be that whole venture? Because that's something I wanted to ask you about. That whole activity of the Church of the Living God,
Hmm.
led by a Christian pastor, get up and join the festival song competition.
Hmm.
Why?
Yeah, very good question. So we see ourselves as what we call a missional church, right? And the missional church is focused on going out as against coming in. So the only reason why we come in is so that we can go out effectively. All right. So it's like the church gathered must be the church scattered. So if you're going to honor the Great Commission of going into all the world and teaching all persons, one part of teaching is to be able to use a methodology that people can comprehend, that is effective. All right. And you must use a language that people can understand, or else you can't teach. So, to us, the festival competition is one way,
This is
one
not. This is
that we
not the
reach the
gospel
people.
festival competition.
No, 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 no. We weren't really as interested in that. Not that that is wrong, but that's not where our headspace was. Because remember, now, we're not trying to make Christians happy, or we're not trying to reach Christians. That's not our aim. So, or else we would have done the gospel festival thing, which is not a bad thing. It's, in fact,
Yes,
I
yes, I get
support
you.
it.
I get you. Yes,
But
yes.
that's not where our headspace is. Our headspace is we want to reach the marketplace. And one way to reach the marketplace is to go through channels that the marketplace is paying attention to, one of which is the popular festival song competition. And so we go and we sing with all of these other people, Rastas or non-Rastas, secular people, you know. And so we are Christians, and we're not afraid and ashamed of it. In fact, we our our name, we maintain our name. Our
Mm-hmm.
performance name is our church name. So we're not ashamed. We're not trying to compromise, but we unite. And
Mm-hmm.
if you put us on the stage, we are. I mean, we are seriously performing, and yeah, I mean, many people when they look, they say we were the chairman, the MC for the night, which is dynamically out there, felt that we were the best performance for the night. Yeah, I mean, cause we're not. Hey, look here, when
Now
the
hold back.
church people sing, no man, church people sing every week. It's every week. Man out the road, no sing like we. Hey, we are singing every week. Every week we are play drum, Bridget. Oh,
Yes.
and we are playing for about 3, 4 services. We'll play for
And not
first
in front
service,
of a
second
mirror.
service, night service,
Not
Wednesday
in
night.
front of a mirror.
Eh?
And not in front of a mirror we are
No,
singing. We are singing in front of
no,
people.
people. And remember now, every week, like the church that I am pastoring, we are very expressive in worship. I'm putting it very nicely. So when we gather to sing, it's our entire body. We are rocking, the waistline, the shoulder, we are dancing, we are jumping, so how we are gonna waste that? that is a
Yes.
capital that we have that can be engaged with society.
Yes.
Society is used to the movement of the body and they are used to singing. That's what we do more than the world. So we are take it
Yes.
out there. We are carry it out
Yes.
there because we are communicating a message. And it was worth it. It really was worth it. Um, it just
Mm-hmm.
took on, the first year that we entered, you see,
Mm-hmm.
you have to, visit the site and check the songs and click which one you like. All right. When you add it up, the likes of the 9 other entrants, it did not come up to our likes. We exceeded
Whoa.
the summation of all the other performance in terms of how people were liking the song. We exceeded the adding up all of them and putting them together. We were
Let
ahead
me ask you
of
this.
the
Let me
total.
ask you this. Let
Mhm.
me ask you this, Rev.
Yeah,
Because based on your involvement and just the kind of passion with which I've known and seen and experience of you growing up from back to basic days, seeing you on the stage and
yeah.
seeing that what you bring to the table. Um, my question is this: what would you say, or what would be your heart towards duplication of this mindset, of the mindset that says the church gathered equates to the church scattered? What would you, how would you speak to the heart of that? How would you encourage another church that is on the fence, like not the ones that are not the ones, I'm not asking you to help the critics, and that's not what I'm
Mhm.
asking. I'm not asking you to help the critics to come over. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you to
Yeah,
help the ones that are grappling with it because they know that they feel like they're called to something more, and that leader is saying, how can I express what I'm feeling differently because I feel like we're called to something more. How
yeah.
can you duplicate this kind of a mindset? What would you say now on this platform to help to duplicate this kind of mindset in somebody else?
Yes. Well, one of the things that I would say is that the first thing that somebody has to do is to develop a passion for, um, mission. It must be authentic. I am developing these methodologies because I want to communicate the gospel of Jesus Christ. So when some people see me on festival, for instance, they may say, "This guy is not a pastor, more so a Christian. What is he doing?"
Mm.
But remember now, you see this big man here that is involved because I'm maybe older than many people think. When I was 15, you see, and I had the same passion in my heart, I would go to the street corners in the city of Kingston and in the markets where people are selling Irish potato and callaloo and so on, Coronation Market as we call it. I would go on the buses, the public buses, what is now equivalent to JUTC, and I would preach. I'm a bus preacher. I'm a street preacher, right?
Oh, wow.
Uh, that's yeah, that's what I used at 15. 15, brethren. Me dey on bus I
Wow.
preach when me supposed to study book. So this has nothing to do with, oh, I want to become popular or I just want to sing reggae music. It has nothing to do with that. My desire, my passion is to reach all for Christ. I want to become all things to all men that I may win some. You understand? Yeah.
Wow.
And so I moved from that kind of bus preaching, preaching on the street corner down crossroads, Chiggerfoot Market,
Wow.
and and
Wow.
and when I went to university now, me and my university friends, right? We used to walk around the campus, with placards. Okay, we call it Jesus Station. and we have Jesus is Lord, Jesus is the answer, and we are walk through the campus in our brethren with the cardboard thing, them posters proclaiming
Wow.
Jesus, 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 Jesus is Lord. Yeah. I mean, we're doing that during
Wow.
lunch break. And then I'm preaching. My brother-in-law, he was at university the same time as me. And he said the, the first impression he had of me is when he was at lunch and saw me preaching under a tree, okay, at the university. So this is not a joke thing. What has happened is that in my own journey, I discovered the power of music. My brother and my bigger brothers and sisters were in music, right? Like seriously in music. Even today, in festival, they use some of their songs in primary school to dance to enter as entrance for their dance pieces. So I grew up in music. I went to music school from I was 5. All right. So my parents introduced me to this. My brothers and sisters did it. They did recordings. They toured foreign. So I grew up seeing this. I know the power of this thing. I see it. I see it. I'm into a church movement, denomination, where music is a vital component of the worship. So I know the power of music, man. So my engagement in this is really because I know what it is. When you pull now that preaching, witnessing attitude with my musical background, you know, I pulled those two things together, went into music, and just did some crazy things all around. And that's how the festival thing came about ultimately. So I would say to people, Wendell, just know your passion and do what you can. Is it
Mm.
going on a street corner and preaching? Go do that. 'Cause maybe that's all you can do. You don't even need a mic for that, Because when we used to do that, we had no microphone or nothing. We just preach out our throat in a virgin. So
Mm.
just do what you can. I am doing what I can. And when I had nothing, I just went into the market and I preach, right? And when I had something, I bought equipment. I brought together highly skilled, highly gifted people, and that's what you get for festival. But the same me, sometimes I go down in the community that I am in, and it's kind of like a troubled, violent community sometimes, and I go in there, and without anything, I just stand up and just start tell people so they must behave themselves. Street corner, carry the church, go down there. Come on, God says that we must live peacefully. Nothing. Walk up and down in the middle of the road. We have to stop. We have to. Yeah. But whilst I'm
Wow.
doing that, like crazy, like Warner Man, you know about like Warner Man and Warner Woman who just, Jesus is coming in
No, no.
soon. You must hear.
Yeah.
You used to have these people who just walk on the street. Yeah. So that's what me and my church do. We just come out of the church and go on the road and start one. If there's a shooting or a murder in an area, 1 and 2 times, we'll go there, go on the location. An accident, we go on the location and we just go on crazy like we don't have any sense. Because we're passionate. It's passion driving us. And we just go and we talk about it and we cry to God and we pray and we talk to people around who come around and watching us. Yeah. And then sometimes I go in a high level meeting with the police, sit down like official and discuss, peacekeeping methods and
Being all
principles.
things to all men.
Of course. So if I can sing, I'm going to enter festival. Yeah, because that's a gift that God has given me, and He has given me a church full of singers. So the last official count of our choir was 90 in the choir, 90
Mm.
people, and the choir sound pretty good, like really good. Well, you hear it on the festival thing. It's not
Yeah.
we import anybody. We use everybody that was used in the studio would have been persons in the church and in the choir. So,
Wow.
you know, I mean, we thank God for the gifting, but just use the gift that you have. Maybe it's dance, maybe it is poetry, you know?
Wow. 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 What do you envision now to be? Well, I think I probably know the answer to this question just by your sheer approach in terms of, starting online, but what would you envision now? So I am of the view that the church has evolved. The church as we know
Right.
it. The
Yeah.
church of Jesus Christ remains the same. The church, remains the same, but the church in terms of the way how we do church, so to speak, has evolved. It has
Yeah.
changed. Because of what COVID has exposed and unearthed, we are now seeing other ways that we can do church. Um,
Right.
what do you see going forward as the vision of the global church? What would you picture as the global church? Where do you think we're going?
Right. Well, definitely. Part of my thing is that we have to become way more virtual if we're going to become relevant. We have to do all we can to become virtually friendly. All right. The other thing that I think we need to do is to be able to uh, market what we're doing, uh, to increase
Package.
our listenership. You know, we have to do things. So we did all kinds of things to get our streaming numbers up, and we are now beyond 1,000 persons who are subscribers to our channel. We're going towards
Mhm,
1,500 now, all right, because we aggressively, sent out to
mhm,
all our people in the diaspora, all the persons in the in the church. We said, subscribe. We are in the community council, we call it the community development council in our community. So we send out a message to them, come on stream, subscribe, and then we ran an attractive service. It was clean, it was clear. Uh, we marketed it before we come on. We know what we're going. We know the topic that we're going to have for that day, and we kind of market that. We send around the information to people, and we made our topics friendly, market
mhm,
friendly,
mhm, mhm,
so
mhm,
instead of
mhm.
uh, you better get right with God, which is a church thing. We don't use that. We say 10 ways of getting it right, because
Yes,
society
yes,
wants to
yes,
get it
yes,
right,
yes, yes,
5 points for
yes,
success, and all of these things,
yes, yes. A
Uh,
7-step program to carry you to
yeah,
the foot of the cross. No, no, I get you. And the thing is that because I recently learned of another church that has launched a short film, has done a short film. Church that
yeah,
I'm quite familiar with. They've
yes,
recorded a short film, and when I heard about it and I looked into it, I was saying, "But boy, I'd love every church to see this
of
because
course,
the whole concept of storytelling is
yes,
what caused you to propagate a culture. Moses
absolutely,
was able to tell Moses was able to tell the story on the technology that he had at the time. Technology is the
yes,
tablets, the stones. He was able to
yes,
tell the story there and he
absolutely.
propagate the story down and spread the culture because of that. Now the tablets that we have, the stone tablets that we have, is film.
Ah, you're preaching,
So
preacher.
if we don't find a way to tell the stories
Yeah,
using the technology we have, we're gonna be left behind. We're gonna be extinct because the stories of
absolutely.
the persons who were not able to tell their stories of old, we don't know about them. They're extinct. We don't even I
Yes,
can't even reference them
absolutely.
because we don't know about them.
Yes, yes.
You know,
And even if you
so
find out how they did what they did, we would not today use their technologies. because that's now obsolete.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
writing on tablets of stone now? Nobody wants to
Yeah.
read that, man.
Right. You know, so
Yeah,
it's
you're
about
absolutely correct.
translate. It's about how do you. It's about how do you use, as you mentioned, the vehicle, the tools, the channel, the medium, the media that persons
Yeah,
are consuming. How do you package your content using that media so that persons can easily consume it? Put your message where
absolutely.
the people are looking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there are persons that can help you. In many
Yes.
congregations today, you have some little high school youth who knows what to do. You just need to capture his imagination, and he will go out
Yes.
there, do the research, and so on, and make sure that you're looking good. So it's
How do
not
you
as
do that
difficult
though?
as people think.
How do you
Well, you
go
have to,
about capturing the
right,
imagination of a young person to
right.
inspire him in the direction?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think you have to give people a vision of what you want. Now, the vision of what you want is not necessarily uh, fully fleshed out in your head. But if you say something big, somebody will listen to you and say, Pastor, so we can't do it that way here. So for me, it isn't let's go streaming. I don't know nothing about streaming. I'm saying we need to carry the message to the world. We are a missional church. Let's get out there, brethren. And what I know is to go on the street and, cry out loud with no microphone. And I have done that. But while I'm doing that, some little university students at my church look on and them say, poor pastor. Pastor, why we don't do it this other way? If we stream, it would be better. I'm needed to know. I
Oh,
shout out my throat in the middle of a road and 20, all right, even if 50 persons come around, it's a lot of people that If you have 50 people around you, when you just go around, go down the street and start shout out, that's a lot of people. But now you know what they did? They now wipe off the sweat off my face, put me in a nicer looking shirt, and say, okay, ready, after three. One, two, three. And then I know must learn to smile. Hi, it's good to be here. You're sharing with Escarpment Road. And you know what happened? When we do that, we go up to as much as 3,000 persons. 3,000 that tune into us one and two times when 2,700, 2,000. Those are the numbers. We do our Bible study, and in our Bible study we have even gone up in a week, not on the night, but in a week, because we put up what we're doing on our channel, and you can go back and look. And so we check it back in a week. After a week we don't check it again because we're doing another study, and we've had up to 2,400 persons who have been in our Bible study. But
mm,
the idea is, first of all, you have to sell a vision. You don't
mm-hmm.
know where the vision can go, but there are others who can help you to take it to places that you never dream of. The second thing you need to do is to identify talent. Find the people who can walk up and down and show the sister who can log on, make them listen to the sermon and say, yes, Mother James, come make it hear the thing now. And that's their job. Find the talent. Yeah. And then
Mm,
be willing and bold enough to make the move. Just step out there. If you
yeah,
need to buy
yeah,
something, a gadget, buy it. You don't have to understand everything. Them know what to do. Just trust people. The people said, this is
yeah,
what you need to transmit a better thing. Just go and buy the thing. And
yeah,
at little by little, you're going to have people, some of them going sorry for you and say, all right, Pastor, let me help you. Some of them are not even Christians, but them just love what you do,
yes,
willing to work
yes,
with you. Yeah, pity
yes.
you. Yeah. You know, it, I've preached already, right? And a guy came and him just listened to me and him just, I think it's some mixture between sorry for. and appreciate what I was doing. And him say, "Oh, give me a camera worth $1,000 US." Serious enough? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
people will, if I know of a guy who had a studio, right, and he was migrating, and somehow he became spiritually conscious, and he was going to give away the studio, and he was going to give it to a pastor. He told me which pastor he was going to give a whole recording studio, brethren. Him just take up the studio and just give it to the pastor, and say, "Pastor, take that." But it is because that pastor, was very visionary, very
Yes.
willing to
People
pay
get
for it,
inspired by
and the
progress.
guy just fell in love with him. Ah, yeah, absolutely. And your progress don't have to be any super thing. Maybe it's just to get a youth who just hold a mic in front of you or a phone in front of you and tape what you're saying and just send it out. And maybe that's what you need to do. So some of the churches that I'm responsible for, pastored by other men and women, those churches are using way less technology, but at least they are getting the message out.
Mm-hmm. Getting it
But
done.
you can't do the same thing. You have to do something different. You know, you have to do something different.
Yeah. 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 Rev, boy, this is inspiring. This is inspiring. This is inspiring. This is
Yes, yes,
inspiring.
yes.
This is inspiring. We're almost up on the hour. Um,
Yeah, you're
no,
an
this is
inspiration
inspiring.
already too, because I see you do things too. So you are inspire me too, because you amaze me. We don't get nothing out of you
Wow.
yet still, but we just appreciate what you do, man. We appreciate what you're doing. I respect you. And we're coming from similar background. So,
Yes.
I mean, you amaze me.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Thank you, Rev. Thank you, Rev. Guys, this
Yes.
has been Reverend Stevenson Samuels, Bishop Doctor. I don't know why I keep saying that. Bishop Doctor, Reverend Stephen Samuels. I'm proud of you, sir, and I'm glad for those who were able to watch this stream with us. I'm really inspired by what you have been doing. I'm inspired by how you, because I've heard a lot of stories of how pastors have pivoted during this time, but I'm inspired by the way how you have done it. Like the mindset to the pivoting, the what do we have now? What are we going to do with what we have? And now that we have gotten time to settle, how can we duplicate our foundation and build something new instead of trying to build on the old? You know,
Yeah.
that's inspiring. And I hope that some of the leaders here are hearing this and taking a second. I know for sure that I'm going to be taking a second look at some of the things I'm doing because of this. Just to see what are you doing, Wendell? Are you trying to build on top of something that is faulty as opposed to looking exactly at what you have and what you're trying to achieve and reimagine it, you know?
Ah.
You know?
Look like you could write a book, Wendell.
Wow. 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 Rev,
No, you
thank you
could
so
write a
much for
book.
your time.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you to your wife for facilitating this process. She was very instrumental in getting things moving.
Superstar. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes. I want to
She
also
she
thank my team.
hey, Wendell, she is
Yeah.
one of my biggest supporters. Yeah. And so, it's like a team, you know,
Yes.
because she has
Yes.
resources that her organizational skills are absolutely amazing.
Nice.
So
Nice.
in terms of this whole business, this new ministry, online ministry that we're in, she plays
Right.
a significant role. Yeah. So you just have to use all the resources you have,
Yes. Yes.
wife,
Yes. Yes.
children, friends,
Everybody. Everybody.
of
Christian,
course.
non-Christian. Everybody.
Yes, man. Use up
Get it
all
done.
the things.
Get it done. Get it
Ah,
done.
boy, I tell
But
you.
Rev, I must say that even like probably some of the persons on here probably wouldn't know, but I remember fondly the
Yeah.
times of Back to Basics, you and
Yes.
Sam Wisdom. Up to recently, I was watching a
Yes.
video on YouTube.
Yes.
Somebody posted a video of was it Old Harbor? I think it's Old Harbor
Oh my
Square.
God. Oh my
And
God.
oh my God, I wanted to watch. Oh my, no, no,
Crazy.
no. It was a real
Crazy.
inspiration. Even being there with Corey Butler, with the guys, with Richard, Carl, Paul
Yes, man.
Richards, all of them, all the year
Yes,
guys,
man.
Derek, all the guys.
Absolutely amazing.
Believe me, man, that has been that whole experience for me. Back to Basics by
Yes.
Birthright and Love Singers Ministry, Sam Wisdom and
Yes.
Steve Samuels. It has changed my life. It has impacted my life
Yeah.
significantly.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has been like one of
Yeah.
the
Cause you to
foundational
see things in
experiences
a
for me.
different way. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
funny enough, it was just, I think the relationship with Love Singers and Birthright over the years aided it. And then
yes, yes, for sure.
Sam was, yeah, and then Sam now, when I went to the church that I'm going back to now, Waltham Park, because I was there before, in a pastoral capacity too.
Right, right, right,
All
right,
right, I was the associate pastor. And so when I got with responsibility for music, and when I
right.
got there, Sam was there. Come on, we are
Wow,
friends. The two groups
wow.
work together. It's
Yes.
amazing how synergies can happen. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
say, look around you, and
Yes.
see what is in your hand. I was in Sam's hand, and Sam was in my hand. And we just decided, hey, we are in the same church. We are friends already. Our band members may be in different churches, but we have a kind of influence. We are the leaders. Let's just bring these two entities together, and it won't cost whole heap of money. But you bring your equipment, I bring my equipment, bring all of the talent you have, and let's just do something collaboratively.
That
And
went on for about 2 years, was it?
yeah, about 2 years, just
All the
one being,
parishes in
and a
Jamaica,
relationship.
Cayman.
Cayman Islands, yes, all the parishes, amazing. And whilst we are there, you have a guy by the name of Wendell who don't have all of the resources, but he has a capacity in him that was bigger than Sam and Steve. And so he came, he experienced that, and now him just
Yeah.
go using that and just doing some
Yes.
big, humongous things. Ah, boy.
Yes, man.
Do
Yeah,
what you
no, no,
can when
you're
you
right.
can, yeah? Yeah, just do what you can when you can. You can't
Yeah,
do everything,
yeah.
but do what you can. And something is going to come out of that.
And
So,
and, 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 and even as you said, even as you did draw the analogy with me,
yes,
I also look at Corey Butler. Corey Butler now has 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 built on that experience. Corey Butler is doing orchestra in
yes,
other parts of the world,
yes.
and
Oh
and
my
like
goodness.
that's a powerful
Oh my
analogy
goodness.
because of the synergies
Yes,
that was formed between you and Sam and the
yes,
different lives that were impacted and how persons were able to
yes.
go on to do other things.
Absolutely. Amazing. Absolutely
Yeah,
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 man. Guys,
Oh
I know we're gone
boy.
over time. I know we're gone over time, but thank you, Rev. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for being you. Thank you for being obedient. Thank you for the
Yes, sir.
opportunity to share with you here now. Thank the guys for Alison Dexter says fulfilling a great program. Thank you guys. I want to also big up my team. I want to big up Dana. I want to big up
Oh boy.
Sabrina Bryce. I want to
Oh,
big up
Sabrina.
Carlos. Yes, I want to big up Carlos Berg, Nadia.
You know that I'm
I want to big up
Sabrina's
my own
pastor?
wife. Yes, yes, man. I know, man. I know. I know quite well. I know quite well. I know quite well. Big up all the
Brother.
persons who helped. Yeah,
Yeah, let me just point out. You see how something can be very simple. Sabrina comes to the church. She ends up in music ministry. She gets involved in the festival choir, and then after that, we are contacted from abroad. Hey guys, come over and do a tour. Sabrina ends up in Canada on a music tour. Okay. And 5 days after we come back, we get another call. We want you back in 4 months' time. No, you tell me. You now tell me. I mean, isn't this God?
Wow.
And
Wow.
before we left, we went into an arrangement to go back with the same producer in a year's time. He booked us for the following year, and somebody has booked us for 3 months, 3 to 4 months time. It is amazing. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Just open yourself and do what you
Yes. Yeah.
can, and God will just
Yes.
open doors, open doors. Amazing.
Yes. Yes. Sharina did share with me that experience. She did share with me some of that. Some of that. And she never shared me all of the details, but
Yeah.
she did share with me that
Yes, yes.
whole thing. Yeah. Worship feast is here. Big up yourself. Alison Dexter, guys. Alison Dexter is column. Column in a building.
Yes.
Column.
Yes.
The build. Yeah.
It
Alison
supports
Dexter.
it supports the structure.
Column. Column. Alison Dexter. Guys.
that means our chest broad.
Chest back everywhere. Column. Column. Yeah,
And we're
man.
speaking technologically now.
Yes, man. Yes, man. Yes, man. Guys, thank you so much. Rev, if we continue, we're going to be here for another hour.
I
Thank you
know.
so much.
My pleasure. My
Thank you
pleasure.
so much. Yes, man. Guys, that's it for another episode of Spur Live Leadership Conversation. Thank you for joining us. And we're about to close the broadcast. See you next time. Take care.